Hello, viewers out there. Welcome to Sports Orbit midweek edition of the program. My name is Afa Acho. Salifu Usman is right here with me. Salifu, welcome to Sports Orbit once again.
Thank you, Abby.
All right, on today's edition of Sports Orbit, we have a guest in the house, and he is no other person but Dr. Abdul Ibrahim, who is the president of the Nigerian Weightlifting Federation. Dr. Ibrahim, you're welcome, and we're pleased to have you on Sports Orbit today.
Thank you very much.
All right, Dr. Ibrahim is in the studio with us, and of course, on 30th September, he was elected president of the federation, and of course, a lot of Nigerians will agree with me that since he came on board, it's been, we can say, the glory days have returned for weightlifting. Of course, we all saw what weightlifters even did in the Commonwealth, and of course, even at the International Weightlifting Federation Championship, and of course, the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. So, Dr. Ibrahim, quickly, it seems you have the magic wand, if I will put it that way. What will you attribute to, the success? And what was that thing you have done differently or is doing differently to the Weightlifting Federation?
Yeah, thank you very much for having me this afternoon.
Yeah.
I can say it's teamwork and collaboration from respective stakeholders, the coaches, the board members, the lifters. We came together and felt it would be good for us to unite and see how we can move the federation forward. Most importantly is for the federation to go back to its glory days where we did all we achieved in the past. And we felt if we come together, we synergize, we are able to achieve a lot. And so this is the deliberate decision we took.
Yeah.
Okay, Doctor, just a follow-up to like my colleague asked the questions. The last time Nigeria won in Pera and in the national championship was in 2011. And you just came in just
about 11 years ago.
You were 11 years ago, you were elected in September. And by December last year, when Nigeria went for a championship went for a national championship.
Yeah.
And at that championship, at least 4 gold medal out of the 10 medal that was on the contest. And to follow up, we went to the Birmingham game. The first medal won by Team Nigeria came from weightlifting.
Yeah.
And then out of 35 medal Nigeria won overall, 6 medal came from weightlifting. Seven medal came from weightlifting. He went to the championship with 9 athletes. One of the athletes won has medal to show for their selection for the game. And people begin to wonder, what is the magic on your select? And more importantly, to add it more, you went with 9 athletes, 7 female and 2 male. So why is like we have more presence in the movement? What are we doing for it so that all our males are not capable of lifting?
When we came on board, we inherited these athletes. So the only thing we did was to motivate them more and to assure them that, look, their welfare is well taken care of at any point in time.
Yeah.
If at the course of any championship they are injured, we'll look after them. You see, when you assure them these things, they are willing to go all out for you.
Yeah.
We felt it was no jamboree. For for weightlifting, you have to go through qualifying series.
Yeah.
You understand? And because most of our major problems in the past is qualification. Qualification maybe as a result of as a result of inability to go for qualifiers. And so when we came, with the cooperation and the support we got from the Honorable Minister for Youth and Sport and his team, the Permanent Secretary and the Director of Freedom, everybody, we were able to go for our first championship in Uzbekistan. When we came, we had about 12 lifters that we were meant to go with, but we did a deliberate analysis and saw that, look, this is not going to be a jamboree. We will go with our best team, and the best team is those that we know that will bring medal back to the country, and so that's what we did. And so we went with our first qualifier. We went with about 7 athletes, and those 7 athletes all came back with about 4 gold medals silver and bronze. Then we went to Mauritius again for the African qualifier. That we also qualified additional 2 athletes, and both of them came back with gold medal. And from there, the journey began to the Commonwealth Games. And then when we got to going to the Commonwealth Games, we did our analysis. We were short of what we expected. You understand? We projected about 3 gold medals, 2 silver, and maybe additional 3 bronze. But unfortunately, we were able to only get 2 gold medals. We lost out. Joy Eze was one of our medal hopeful. You could see in her snatch, she already clinched gold already. But when it came to the clean and jerk, she lost out there. And again, we saw some lapses on our own part. And when we came back, we were already working on it with our technical teams, our technical director, with the coaches. We sat down. One other thing that is very important in weightlifting is psychological and mental ability. And you should be able to psych the athletes to do better than what they are doing, and most especially when, for example, like Joy Eze, she was timed out. Because she was timed out, she couldn't get her composure anymore. And so that's the work of the coaches and the psychologists. Unfortunately, we don't travel with psychologists. And so it was left for the coaches to see how they could manage her, and unfortunately, we couldn't manage her on the day. She's a champion in her right. She's in fact, at the Commonwealth Game was when they broke her record. You understand? But with since we came back, she's gone back to the gym. She's more motivated, and she's already preparing for African Games coming up in Cairo next month. And then after that, we'll proceed to the World Championship, which is one of the first Olympic qualifiers. You understand? For weightlifting, we have to go for 5 qualifying series. And after the 5 qualifying series, that's when we qualify our athletes. And again, something very important happened for the first time in the history of the weightlifting games. Now every country can only project 6 athletes, not like before. You can only bring 3 male, 3 females. So you have to qualify all 6 of 3 males, 3 females through the qualifying series. And so that's what we're working on. And again, the calendar is choked for us. We also have the National Sport Festival coming up in November. We were meant to go for the Youth Games this month. At the end of this month, we said no, it will be too tight for us. We are preparing for the African Championship in Cairo coming up next month. And after that, then we wanted to have a national championship. We tagged it the Olympic qualifying series for us nationally. But we're looking at it, seeing the tight schedule that we have, and you see, weightlifting takes a lot of period to recover. You have to go through the recovering process. And so, if we now put them through qualifying series, put them through the African Championship, put them through the National Sports Festival, and then they'll be going, like for the Sports Festival, I'm sure we will not be able, most of these athletes will not be able to finish the Sports Festival because it coincides with our World Championship. And most of them are champions. So we have to.
Okay, Doctor, let me just cut it there. You have said what we are talking about is about the elite sport, about getting the program. But in terms of getting the game down the grassroots, spread across the country, and develop talent from across the country, across the 36 country. What is your board doing towards that? We know before you emerged as president, you were chairman in FCT, and we know what you do in FCT. What are you doing to replicate shots in the 36
national level?
You see, for every state, the 36 states and the FCT have their associations, and then that's where these elite athletes come from. And then for us at the board level, what we try to do is to encourage them via equipment, and also monitor and send. Sometimes next month we'll be having coaches and a referee seminar. Where we will bring the coaches. You see, you cannot give back what you don't have. So we want to invite international coaches to come in and look at what we have now and see where we can improve. And so we'll be bringing the coaches in for training courses and the rest. Some states got a couple of equipment from us. So those are the ways we try to do. We cannot be everywhere. For example, we are in constant contact with all the states, all the coaches. You understand? Most of the states, like in the south, we're in contact with them. That's where most of our athletes come from. You understand? We are in contact with them. We want to see where they are lacking behind and see how we can support them. And a very major issue is that of the doping. You understand? And so it's all encompassing. So you see, you cannot achieve what you want to achieve, and then at the end of the day, doping cases will come in. And so we are also enlightening all the states. You understand? And we also have our own program of discussing with the coaches, the athletes, and all, and having and with all these programs put together, we're able to see how we can develop from the grassroots. I tell you this very sincerely. You see, for weightlifting, it's very local. You have to start from the basis. Our youth wing is very strong. Next month, in December, we'll be having youth championship. That's what we want. That's where we start from. In the last youth championship, we got a couple of athletes that came through the rank from there. We are in contact
what
with them.
Age grade are we looking at in this youth championships?
Yeah, between 14 to 17. You understand? And most of these elite athletes you see are all young people. Taiwo Laide is just 19. You understand? If you look at them, there's nobody that is more than 22, 23, 24 among them. So they all came through the rank. And so that's what we do. We take the youth championship very serious. From the youth championship, we look at them. We don't just take the best athletes from the youth championship. We look at their technicality, look at the speed, to which they lift these equipment, they lift. And so we know that, look, if this one is giving some small tutelage, we're going to be having champions.
Doctor, before you raise a very valid point as concerning doping. Nigeria have recorded issue of doping before in the weightlifting, the person of Meda Usman. But now, and most of the cry we always have that most of athletes, they say, well, I'm not aware of this. What are you doing to ensure that? Because some athletes take some of things, every day there's a changing rule, different rules coming after every day. So what I do to ensure that your athletes are properly monitored, educated, great awareness to ensure that yes, none of them is caught nothing when it comes to the case of doping. And at the same time, are you carrying out regular tests? Conducting regular tests of those athletes.
For when we came on board, we had our in the first one, we had our first doping seminar where athletes and coaches were all invited. We took people in from the anti-doping agency here and even a couple of some medical sports medicine people, and we enlightened. You see, so most times the athletes don't know that a couple of drugs that they take have some substance that are banned, and so that's where we started from the foundation. Look, you have no, if you have any illness, don't take any drugs. You must get a prescription from doctors, and you must go to the right pharmacy and get these drugs. That's where we started from. So from the seminars, the athletes were aware of what substance they should not take and the rest. So that's where we started from. Building from there, we had another seminar where we also took, when you start something, you start from the foundation, then you begin to build. Our first seminar was a foundation, this thing to just lay the to the other. You have to fill it online for them to know. Because for these athletes, only quarterly basis, not even quarterly, even monthly basis, they are tested from the International Federation. On our own part also, we do a series of tests. It might not be like what the International Federation is doing, but we also do our test. And then when we go for, and one other measures we took is the issue of early camping. We bring these people together for 3 months. You'll be able to monitor them. You'll be able to see what they are doing. And then when they are with themselves, they will be ashamed of going to do all these things. And then they are monitoring everybody. And we also have a mechanism of monitoring what goes around in the camp. And so these are the measures
we don't have it all the time, just to allow it. No, yes, with achievement in the Commonwealth Games, the most target now is the Olympics.
Yeah.
What are you target, and what is your ultimate target? And at the same time, in terms of sponsorship and all those things,
very important.
so what are you doing? Because most federations always cry that no money, no money, no money, no money. And for different reasons, of course, and if you're waiting for the government, you may not get your program running. So
yeah, for the Olympic, like I said, you have to go through qualifying series. We are looking at having 6 athletes qualifying for the Olympic. First of all, we must start from the qualification. You understand? It's when you qualify that you are eligible to compete at the Olympics. And so we are taking it very, very serious. The first one is coming up, like I said, in Colombia in December. And we'll have, by a special grace of us, between 8 athletes that will go there and compete. And so from these 8 athletes, we'll streamline to 6. We'll do a comparative analysis and see where we have more strength. And where we have strength, we'll build on the strength. And so this is what we're doing. For us having a target for Olympic I would say it's too early. First of all, let's start from the qualification. Once we go to the qualification, we'll see what every country is improving. So we are also improving in our own right. And so we'll start from there. And then talking about sponsorship, that's a very serious challenge that we have in this country. Most corporate organizations don't sponsor sporting activities. For us, we don't have any sponsorship yet. We are discussing with a couple of sponsors. We've discussed with a couple of them, but it has not come true yet. You understand? We want to appeal to companies in energy drink, battery companies, bands, and the rest to see how they can come and support weightlifting. For us, we are transparent. You will have value for your money. We are very accountable, and if you put in naira, you see what we do with it, and it automatically translate to glory for the country, and that's what's very important to us.
All right, viewers. So you heard from the president of the Weightlifting Federation himself, in the person of Dr. Abdul Ibrahim. Doctor, thank you once again for being on the show with us today. Hope one of these days you're willing to stop by once again whenever we need you.
Anytime you need me, I'll be here.
All right, we'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, Sport Orbit continues. Don't go nowhere. All right, welcome back from that short break. You're still on to Sports Orbit, which you from Leadership TV. Two other stories now go straight to the camp of the Super Eagles, where Super Eagles head coach Jose Pesero has been forced to rejig his squad for next week's friendly match with Algeria following injuries to the trio of Ahmed Musa, Samuel Chukwueze, and Emmanuel Dennis. Savio Amundi Gordon, who plays for Portuguese Super League side Casa Pia and Rivers United Ibubiduri, have been called up in the absence of the aforementioned trio. So far, 18 players are already in camp as they are getting ready for that encounter. Salifu, our camp has been hit with all kinds of injuries. In as much as I know this is a friendly match, but for me, I would have loved all these players to be around. Whether I like it or not, Algeria is a solid opposition compared to the teams with no disrespect to the teams we faced during the qualifiers, but Algeria is a solid opposition. I would have loved all these players to be in camp so that we'll have a clear idea of how Pesero really wants to utilize these players and play actually.
I agree with you 100%. Even me, as I'm beginning to feel that this friendly, in as much as important friend as it is beginning to look like a shared play. Because when we are beginning to lose all the key players, it doesn't give you the refreshers of what we wanted to achieve in this game. And I think the idea why the Nigeria Football Federation put this game, call it opening with the African continent, is just to get a clear picture, because we have complained a lot about what Pesero is going to play. For instance, he played against Mexico, we lost the match. He played against after the Mexico, then the South American team, Ecuador, and then we lost the 2 match. Then, but for the qualifier, which is a competitive match, we went against Principal Sao Tome and then Sierra Leone. But these are not strong opponents that we can make a major that we want to achieve something. And then that's why the more importantly, Nigeria football put this friendly against a very top quality side like Algeria. And Algeria's danger forces are going to present a full squad. And now, if God forbid, if we lose this match against Algeria, Pesero have all the excuses to give that he missed all his key players.
Which will be a valid excuse.
And a very valid excuse. He have all the excuses. And even you hold the excuse for him. The key players are not available. So, but well, in as much as it is an opportunity for some players to also show what they can give, but we begin to feel that it could have been better. We have all the players. He has all the players at his disposal, and let him pick who he want to pick to play. But now we are losing all the key players. All the attacking front line are out of this competition. But I still believe that we still have a material to play this match. If only a serious coach want to play. Because if you look at the Super Eagles at the moment, I'm one of those who believe that we have first 11. A very good coach of Nigeria, a very good Nigerian coach can present a first 11 that is quality as first one and as quality as the second one. And any of those first 11 can compete with any team. So it doesn't mean either we'll miss Osimhen, we'll miss Oyekoro, we'll miss Musa and the rest. So we still have players. If you look at the offline, we still have the person Awende is still there. Dennis was supposed to come. Dennis is also out of this competition. But we still have a couple of other strikers who can also speak surprises. Henacho is still there. So I think Pesero still have what he have.
I agree.
He still have his squad to play this match if he really want to prove that he's a good coach.
Right to our next story before we leave the studio. It's about Toby Amusan, where finally the World Athletics has finally ratified Toby Amusan's world record of 12.12 seconds set at the 2022 World Championship in Oregon, USA. The athletics body made the announcement on the website yesterday. Amusan is now officially confirmed as the first Nigerian athlete to hold a world record. I mean, sharing news, finally, everything has now been laid to rest, because at the point before the world body ratified this, some people, there were still doubts, about it. So we're actually waiting for this ratification. And finally, the world body has said, yes, she broke this record and we have finally put the seal on it. So nobody can take that away from her.
They have no choice. And it is a shame on them. Because the World Athletic Body, the US Oregon, this we approach almost more than a month
exactly,
and it take them for almost
more than almost immediately
to rectify the record that because it's an African, because it's coming from Africa. if it was this world record were created by America, created from South America, created by European,
I'm sure the next day or that
it
day
will be rectified. But it takes them for more than a month to rectify this world record. And only God knows
what they were looking for.
What they were looking for. They're checking, trying to test it everywhere to find fault so that they can cancel it. Why is this coming from Nigeria? Why is this coming from Africa?
Exactly.
A war record. Remember, apart from the 12 record, that was the record he created in the semi-final of the semi-final of the 100-meter world championship. In the final, he ran 12:06. But they say by weed assisted.
Yeah, exactly.
So they didn't recognize that one. If not, the record's supposed to be 12:06. But they say it was weed assisted because it was Anushuala from Nigeria.
Exactly. Well, like someone once said on social media, she said wind assisted. Was she the only person who the breeze was blowing?
Thank you. Exactly. She was not the one in the race.
Yes.
And at the same time, wind can also prevent you from winning the race.
Exactly. So, well, congratulations to Toby Amuson once again. With that, we draw the curtain on today's episode of Sports Orbit. But tomorrow we'll be back again with, a fuller package, more exciting and refreshing edition of the program. Self, once again, thank you for being in the studio once again today.
Thank you.
All right, until we come your way tomorrow again, stay safe out there. My name is Afa Cho, and it's bye for now.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.